Hey everyone, Paul the Tasha Scale Modeler. So today I've got a comparison test. Well, an overlook of Harder Steenbeck Ultra and the Iwata Neo. They're both entry-level airbrushes for both manufacturers. There's a slight price difference. The standard Ultra's around the £60 mark and the standard Neo's around the £45 mark. So there's a bit of a price difference in them. I've owned the Neo now for about 12 months. It's a cracking airbrush for the money. It does have a couple of faults, a couple of bugbears that really do annoy me about it. So I bought an Ultra to see. I know a few people have bought it, and it's a Harder Steenbeck. I'm a massive fan of their airbrushes, so I thought I'll buy one, see how they compare, and we'll go from there. So, like I say, there's a standalone review of the Neo on the channel. If you go back a few months, it's there. I'll release a review of the Ultra on its own, a complete review of itself, show it in use and what have you, for one of the news shows, and then this will be released. It's not a test of them both, I'm not going to be spraying them side by side, it's just an overview of the different features and the quality and how they work, etc. And that's it. So I've opened them both up. So the Ultra comes in a cardboard sleeve with its instructions, which it is a proper instruction book. If you've seen the Infinity review, it'll be virtually the same. So it goes through components, commissioning, starting her up, how the double action works, exercises on what to do to get use out of it, cleaning, troubleshooting, etc., and the guarantee. Guarantee on these is 2 years. So it's a 2-year guarantee on the Ultra, so you get that. The Ultra's in a nice plastic box, and because this is a 2-in-1, this is an £80 set, because I've got the 2 needle sets, which I'll explain why in a little bit. So for £80 you get the airbrush, the 2 colour cups, quick release, and the 2 needle sets as well. On this one I've gone for the pinch tip on the 0.4mm. I got this as an added extra, which is an £18 option, purely and simply because it makes the airbrush so much easier to clean. Now if you buy the standard Ultra, you get that, you get, just let me double check my notes. Yeah, you don't get the larger colour cup, you just get the smaller one. So you basically get these 2 components here. You get that for £60, quick release, the lot. So you get that for £60, and obviously you get a nice hard plastic case. Now the Neo for £45, I'll just take this bag out because these are little extras. You get a cardboard box. It's a nice attractive box. You get the spanner, the 2 different colour cups, and your instructions are in the back, but it is literally just a sheet of paper on start airbrushing, begin, paint. So very, very basic instructions. So the Harder does get the better instruction book, and it obviously, you know, takes you through some very basic techniques. Both in attractive packaging. For me though, the plastic case of the Harder is a lot better, especially if you store your airbrushes in there, because it's a much more robust case. But packaging is very attractive. It is attractive on the Neo, so you can't really fault that. Now, to add what I've added in those, you've got the quick release, which is about £3 to add, and you've got the crown cap on the Iwata as well. This is about £8 worth of extras there, so you're talking, you know, £53 there then for your basic airbrush. So for £7 more you'll get the Ultra, but you don't get the pinch tip with it. Now my only criticism is I bought this, and I know Lee did the same, and this thing's absolutely useless. I think it's supposed to stop splatter and what have you, but I never get splash off the original cap anyway. But what this does, because of the shape of it, you see there where it's like a flower effect, you can't get your finger over the end, so you can't back flush it easy, and it makes it an absolute nightmare to do. So I've always left it off, I've never used that, so it's a waste of money in my opinion, to be honest. You can back flush a standard airbrush by putting your finger over the end, because it's actually flat, so you can do that to back flush it and pull it back, but you can't easily clean the needle. So that's one of my main faults of this, and cleaning of it isn't the best either. Quality wise it's okay, it's not an actual Iwata manufactured airbrush, that's why it's Neo for Iwata, so you know, you might think you're getting an Iwata, you're actually not. You're getting a branded airbrush made for them. The difference is, I'm sure it's a 5-year guarantee on these. I'll just double check. Yeah, 5-year warranty, and as you can see on the back, assembled in China from components of Taiwan. So it's a Chinese airbrush, but because it's backed by Iwata's 5-year guarantee, you've got a bit more there to go on. But the main criticism of this airbrush, and many people have done it, is the way you have to clean it. It's going to completely take it to bits. You need to use the supplied spanner in the box to undo this, which then screws out so you can clean the needle. Now screwing this back in, it's very, very brittle, and I snapped one already, and that is my main criticism. It snaps unbelievably easy. Because it's an O-ring seal in there, you've got to compress it enough to tighten it so you don't get any air, but obviously not over tighten it so it snaps off. And the last time I did it, it just sheared completely off. Luckily I managed to get the sheared barrel out of here, otherwise you've got to send it back to be repaired. So the two criticisms of this airbrush are A, it's an absolute pig to clean, and B, that needle nozzle is really temperamental. Other than that, it's not a bad airbrush. The quality is not bad. It sprays well. I've been using it for a year for clear coats and spray and washes. It's a 0.35 needle in these. And like I say, for £45 you can't really go wrong. Now, my main idea of doing this today is to see what you get for an extra £15. So if I put this back to its component form as it is for your £60 airbrush, which is this, to compare them both. So there they are side by side. They're probably about the same weight. The difference being is this is manufactured in China, this is manufactured in Germany. This uses the same needle nozzle sets as the Infinity and Evolution, which for me, having two Infinities now, is an absolute bonus because I can switch and change through the needle sets should I need to. Standard out the box, you get a quick release with this, so you save £3 straight away. You get two colour cups as the same. You don't get a spanner because, like I say, this shares the same needle nozzle set as the Infinity and Evolution, so it's the same needle nozzle and the same needle setup as well. So that makes cleaning an absolute breeze because it takes literally seconds to strip the airbrush down and again put it back together. Now, like I say, what I've done, if I grab one of my Infinities, I've added this pinch tip off the Infinity onto my version of this to make it easier to clean as well. Like I said, it does add £18 to the cost of the kit, but for me, the ease of being able to clean a needle, which is the main problem on this, is worth that £18. Obviously, you're taking the price of the airbrush up then, but even as a base unit airbrush like this, it is much better quality than the Neo. Typical of the Harders, if you unscrew the quick release, you can get to the air stem valve underneath and it's a screw. Now you can screw this in or out to adjust the tension on the trigger. So you can make it harder to press or lighter to press depending on what you desire. On the Neo, there's no way of doing that, not that I know of anyway. There is actually an Allen key underneath. I've never messed about with it, but it is a hell of a lot heavier. If somebody knows, let me know, but looking at that, there is actually an Allen key in there, but whether it can just be moved up and down, I don't know. Whether it just takes it out literally is the main reason. So like I say, I've tailored that to my pressure I like, so you can go from fully depressed, half, etc., down and down and down as you like. You take the back end off, you've got the normal needle chuck the Evolutions and Infinities have. We take the back of the Neo off. It's a very similar setup to their other Iwata range as well. The beauty of this, and you can do this on this to a degree, you can adjust the barrel on the back, which adjusts the tension, but you only get a certain amount of travel before you need to screw that in, because as you can see, that sits inside there like so. So you only get a certain amount of travel before you run out of adjustment. Now, on the Harder, now whether you're supposed to use this like this, I don't know, but for me, I can. This actually screws into the body of the airbrush, and this is how you pull the needle out. So if I show you quickly, see that you do that, and there's the needle barrel as it comes out. And then you're supposed to, I don't know if this is supposed to be screwed all the way in or not. We put the needle back in properly. But if you adjust this without unscrewing it all the way, it relaxes the tension on the trigger pull. So you can literally go from, you know, fairly hard and really positive, and adjust it down. I think I had it about there. So it really does, you know, it gives a bit of adjustment. Like I say, whether or not you're supposed to do that, I don't know, but you can, and it does work, as I've been playing with this a little bit this morning. Quality wise, it does feel a substantially better quality airbrush. I'm not going to lie, I don't lie in my reviews. You get what you get with me, I always tell the truth. The quality is there straight away. It's not as good as an Evolution, and I've owned an Evolution for 3 years now. So, you know, the Evolution's a £100 airbrush to start off with, but On the scale, you know, you've got the Neo, I'd say, then there's this, then there's the Evolution. So it is the better airbrush quality-wise than the Neo. You're going to get better quality components out the box than this, because this is a Chinese airbrush, this is German. Germans do know how to make stuff. But for me, this is the better airbrush. So much so, this is now sold. I didn't think I'd do that. I've been recommending the Neo for a long time, and I literally use it for clear, Johnson's clear, and for spray and washes, because the 0.35 needle is ideal for that. Hence the reason why I've got this in the 0.4 and the 0.2, so I can use the 0.4 needle, and the needle, the pinch tip needle nozzle of the Infinity is in the 0.4, so this will have a 0.4 needle in it all the time. Like I said, I've been recommending this for a long time, and for me to go from this to this, I didn't think I'd notice a difference, but I've seen a lot of people comment on it lately, and I am going to admit it is the better airbrush by far. It feels more substantial, quality on use feels a lot better as well, and I think over time it's going to be more robust, because obviously you haven't got this delicate needle nozzle setup in the Iwata. You've got the standard Evolution Infinity needle nozzle set, which is a breeze. If you've got one, you'll know how easy they are to clean, and it really is a breeze to clean them, dismantle, assemble them together, etc. And that's it. So that's it really. So it's a little bit more expensive. The standard Neo, as you can see there, is £60. This is 45 roughly at most places. By the time you had a quick release, you're up to 48, so there's £12 difference then. Like I say, you can get the crown cap, but it's a waste of money. It doesn't help in any way, shape or form. It just hinders cleaning. But for me, if you're looking for a second airbrush, third airbrush, I'd seriously have a look at the Ultra, definitely. Another quick thing as well. Now, whether it's a plus point or a minus, the colour cups don't actually screw in, they literally push fit in, as you can see. So to swap and change, you literally just push fit them in like so. They friction fit, and as you can see with the larger colour cup, because I'm forever spilling paint, it's, you know, very usable. Whether you can get a lid for it, I'm not sure, maybe something I'll add. But I'm looking forward to putting this thing through its paces in that review, and we'll see how we go. So there we go, there's a short review, well, comparison of the Neo and Ultra from Harder Steenbeck. So I think if this was an actual Iwata manufactured airbrush, it would A, be a lot more expensive, and B, I think it would be better quality. I've owned the Revolution, and to be honest, I would say that was on par with the Revolution. So there's a good comparison. I've reviewed the Revolution as well on the channel, and that's a £90 to £100 airbrush. This is 60 out of the box. By the time you add that pinch tip nozzle, you're looking at, you know, just under £80. So you are saving money, and in my opinion, that is on par with Iwata's Revolution. And I've owned all these airbrushes for quite a long time, at least a year, and they've been used an awful lot. So I think I am quite versed in how they use and how they compare. So that's a good comparison there. I would say the Ultra is more in comparison with the Revolution, which is a much more expensive airbrush. But if you're starting off and you're looking for a new airbrush, you won't go wrong with the Neo at all, as long as you know, take care of a few key points. Cleaning's a bit more of a chore, and obviously you've got that delicate needle nozzle in there as well. But you're not going to go wrong with either at all, and there is a price difference, I will admit that. But in my opinion, that's been sold. It's actually already been sold. As soon as I got my hands on this, that was gone. As soon as I felt the quality difference, I thought, that's it, this is the airbrush. I don't like having tools knocking about I don't use. That's why I used to have two Evolutions, Iwata Revolution and the Neo. I'm literally down to two Infinities now and the Ultra, because they're all the airbrushes I need. And yes, I know 3's enough. So there you go. So like I say, if you're looking for a budget airbrush, get the Neo. It's better than any, well, most of the cheaper ones you find on eBay, and you do have a 5-year guarantee, so it is a good backup for it. But it is essentially just a Chinese airbrush, but it does work superbly. I've used it for a year and it's performed faultlessly, bar that needle nozzle and the cleaning being a bit of a chore. But if you can afford a little bit extra, certainly have a look at the Ultra. It's well worth looking. I got this from Martin at air-craft.net again. And again, it came next day. I ordered it yesterday afternoon. It came this morning by recorded post. So thank you very much again, Martin. Superb service. And that's it. So I hope that's proved useful for anyone. I have been asked to do this before, a comparison between them both. So like I say, hopefully it's proved useful for you guys. And I'll be along, more than likely be in the March news show, I'll do a standalone review of the Ultra, and this will probably be released after, because I've literally had to record this now because this is going. So there we go. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time, and I'll see you on the forums.